welcome back to Stef ABtv, welcome back to the TTRS. And we've got a couple of updates in this video. The first of which I want to talk about is obviously this car and how this TTRS puts so much into perspective. There's also news on the Alfa Romeo 4C, so stay tuned until the end of the video, because I've got a few things to talk about the 4C. But the bulk of the video is this thing. Now, I've had this car now for, well, pretty much nearly a month now, and I can tell you the ownership experience in the month I have had it has been phenomenal. But as I say, there's news coming on the 4C. You can probably see where this is going, in the sense of I've been exploring new car options, and this TTRS has put a lot of things into perspective for me, particularly now as I've had the chance to drive it. Obviously in the winter months, I've had it for a pretty decent period of time, and it is just such a good all-round car. It's very quick too as well. In fact, look, wet, damp surface, we've got a national speed limit. I'll show you a quick launch control. The road is so wet and it lit up the wheels, but it's so controllable, so controllable. That's the beauty of the four-wheel drive platform. Now, when I say this puts things into perspective, I mean specifically around the performance element of it. That's the number one thing, I think, more than anything, is the performance in this car is unreal. In fact, I almost think that the performance in the TTRS is almost like, you know, you don't need that much performance in it, but I'm so glad that Audi put so much performance in it. I mean, zero to 60 in 3.8 seconds in something this size, the same as the RS3, 3.8 in the new 2009 version, is so fast. And the thing with this car is you can throw it around. It's so nice to throw around with the confidence that it will stick and grip. But the 3.8 seconds 0 to 60 courtesy of four-wheel drive and the 2.5 litre 5-cylinder is super pegged back. Now, when I'm talking about the tunability of this car, that's where I get very excited by it. Now, if you take something like an Audi R8 V10 Performance, £175,000 car, 620 horsepower, 2.9 seconds to 60. This is 1 second slower. I could pick a second-hand one up, so not this version, probably the gen before, for about 35 to 37 grand. And with an APR tune, just a stage 1 tune, this would be around I think about 470 horsepower. Then if you go APR stage 2, which is very reasonable to do, it's not going to break the bank. APR stage 2 consists of an intercooler, a downpipe and a mid-pipe, and a software map, and I'm getting between 500 and 570 horsepower, depending on the kind of fuel that you use. That is ridiculous. That alone will give you the performance of an Audi R8 V10 Performance at a third of the price. It maybe even not, no, a quarter of the price. Now you've got to take that, you know, you really got to take that into perspective. Now, there are obviously other parts of a car that you take into consideration when it could potentially be a next car. One of them being the interior, and well, we all know that Audi interiors are absolutely stunning. The noise is incredible. Can't get enough of the noise of this car. And the styling. Now, the TTs have evolved so much over the years. They've evolved so much over the years, and they had the stigma of the hairdresser's car. And I think anybody who calls this version a hairdresser's car is on crack, because This car looks so aggressive. From the front, it is absolutely gorgeous. I love this thing. From the rear, it still has a little bit of a bubble bum, I guess, but with the spoiler and the wheels and everything that you get with this car, for me, it just looks super aggressive. But what about other cars? I mean, you know, I've also looked at a Gen 1 V8 R8 just because of that sound and, you know, supercar looks. I know it's a little bit more dated, but it's kind of within the price range. And again, the cars that I'm looking at are cars that I could potentially use every day. And that does a 4.6 second 0 to 60. Now, I know performance isn't everything, but one thing that I have found with this car is that I just love driving it. I really, really love driving it. I feel very connected as a driver to everything that's going on in this car. And I think that's a massive selling point of this car. But the thing for me is the tunability, guys. You guys all know me that I loved tuning my Abarth to, you know, 250 horsepower, just making it really quick and surprising people. One of these at stage 2 isn't going to cost you a fortune, and it's going to be so fast. If you went stage 3 on this, APR stage 3, which is a hybrid turbo, I believe, that's 600 plus horsepower. Insane. And the thing with this as well is, yes, I know that the sacrifice is going to be tail happy fun, but I think that sometimes you do need to be realistic and say to yourself, how often are you going to do that? How often am I going to kick the back end out? Yes, when it goes, it's nice to keep it in control and pray that you're not going to put it into a ditch. So yes, the drama in this isn't as much, but the more I've driven this, the more I enjoy it. I mean, acceleration this quick. We're sitting, the traction control was fighting then, that's hilarious. But acceleration this quick is something that I think really, really needs to be considered. And I guess that moves on to my next point and final point of news on the 4C. The 4C will be going. I haven't decided when I'm going to be putting it up for sale, but one thing I can say is that I will be selling the Alfa Romeo 4C. So I guess the first thing that I would ask is any of my subscribers, or are any of my subscribers interested in my 4C? Now, if you want more information on that, please drop me a note on youtube.com. Drop me a note on Instagram, Stef ABtv, and just let me know. You can get finance through Darren Gibson. So I'm sure we can speak to Darren to see if he can make it work for you. He's brilliant at what he does. He helped me get into the car, and yeah, if it's something that you're really interested in, then please do let me know. So yeah, and what I'll do is I'll do another video specifically in the 4C, giving everyone as much detail as I can on the car and talking about that a little bit more and the reasons as to why I will be putting it up for sale. But let's just quickly finish the video with just a quick final summary, because the TTRS is going back to Audi in a few days, and as I've said, I have absolutely loved this thing. In the time that I've had it, I can safely say that in the month I have thoroughly enjoyed driving it. It is a perfect all-round car. It's been brilliant. So I guess as a kind of final summary, as a longish term 1 month review, should you buy one of these? Well, I think you need to ask yourself a couple of questions. The first of which is, are you going to use it every day? Are you fussed that you'll lose some drama and maybe a bit of character that you get from something like a rear-wheel drive car? But if you want point-to-point performance and an absolute weapon, that's your thing there, guys. And just a quick tune of that, it is going to destroy most of the cars on the road. And I'm not talking supercars as well, because it is so fast. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Massive thank you to Audi for allowing me to have this car for the month. I've really enjoyed my time with it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. Make sure to subscribe for plenty more content, and I will see you all very soon on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.